Natasha Van Der Merwe. I'm a professional triathlete, coach, and athlete honeymoon sponsored athlete. And just want to show you the ropes on how to get into triathlon. I just got into triathlon 2 years ago, and the hardest part about doing it is finding that first race and signing up. And after that, it's all very easy to do. Number one thing, you want to make a plan, a schedule, something that fits in with your life and doesn't feel like a burden, something you can easily do. You have to manage obviously the swim, bike and run, and to get started, if you can just hit those all twice a week, that's a good way to get started, and then you can go from there. I'm going to give you 3 tips on the swim, bike and run. And my 3 pointers for the swim. Number 1 is if you have a coach you can go to, or a friend who's a good swimmer that can show you some pointers and technique advice. That would be your best bet, because you can't go out and swim and unfortunately practice bad technique and expect to go very far. Good form will go a long way when you get out in the pool and help you advance. The second thing is find a swim group. Once you get comfortable with your stroke and your endurance, then look for a local swim group. There's US Masters or a Tri Club, I'm sure, in your area, and it's just going to bring a good social aspect to swimming. It's just so hard to look at a black line at the bottom of the pool for 30 minutes by yourself, and then also when you have structure, it's a lot easier to go through a workout, a longer workout, quicker. And then the last one is invest in a race pair of goggles. There's nothing worse than swimming, especially in a race where your goggles are leaking or they're fogging. And so I have a pair of goggles that I do all my swim training with, that I usually change out pretty frequently, and then a race pair of goggles that I keep only for race day to make sure that I'm not going to have any of those problems. Now onto the bike. Again, first thing for the bike is being comfortable. Make sure you go to your local bike shop and they fit you correctly on the bike. A lot of you can get injured on the bike, but also just being uncomfortable for the amount of time you spend on the bike is just no fun at all. And then finding a good seat. A lot of the times if you get a bike, you think the seat has to stay on that bike and that's going to fit you, but that's not the case. There's so many different saddles out there that will fit you specifically and just make it a much more enjoyable ride when you get out there training and racing. The second thing is be very intentional about your bike workouts. There are a lot of people who go out and just cycle really with no real goal or plan, and you find yourself in a gray area a lot of the time, kind of not going too hard or too slow, and you actually want to separate your workouts. Either go a day where you're really pushing yourself in order to make some aerobic gains, or you're going easy and you can use that cycle as recovery from a hard run workout that you may have done the day before. So separate your workouts. The third thing is hydrate. When it comes to a race, but also the bike, when you're training, we easily forget to reach down and hydrate, and you're out there for a really long time and you're sweating a lot more than you realize, especially because the wind is hitting your body and it's evaporating the sweat that has come off your body. So make sure that you're drinking the whole time. You know that when it comes to the race, you still have to run afterwards, and so you want to make sure you get to the run feeling pretty good. Okay, so now we're on to the 3 things for the run. First tip is form and efficiency. You want to get out, and when you're running, make sure you're practicing good form and you have some cues that you're always thinking about. Be it, relax your shoulders, keep a high cadence you're going to hear a lot of the time, and just run tall. When you get to the run at the end of the race, you're getting off the bike and swim, you're going to be pretty tired, and if you don't have good form and efficiency, it's going to go downhill pretty fast, and that's when you're most likely to get injured and really slow up. So that's the number 1 thing you want to practice when you get out there. Number 2 is build slowly. When you get out, that is again one thing that you can injure yourself with training, and don't jump into higher mileage right away. Build by 10% every week with your training, again focusing on form and efficiency. And the last thing when it comes to racing is that we want to start out slowly. I know a lot of times when we get off the bike, we feel excited just to be on that last leg, and you have all your family and friends cheering and volunteering you, cheering out of transition, and we always tend to pick it up and try to hold on to that, and a lot of times it can end up in a very hard run. So make sure you get off the bike and you build it slowly. Again, you get hydrated and practice taking in water on the run. That's another hard thing to do, but hydrate, pace yourself, and save up some energy